Katrina, welcome to the podcast. What was one of the biggest moments in time that actually changed a significant amount for you in terms of your business?
The first big change was year three when I was invited to a workshop. And my friend said, "No, you got to be there. This is the thing that's going to catapult you." So I put everything on a credit card, got there, and I was in a room of 100 amazing coaches, consultants, people that were doing big things. And I realized, oh my God, I can charge so much more. Look at what they're making. Look at what they're doing. I can do that. It gave me that confidence I needed to catapult my rates in the beginning. I went from $95 an hour when I got there to, I think I left at $250 an hour just from being around other highly successful, motivated people. That was the biggest pivot, I think. Awareness of what's possible.
It sounds like you also did an income jump. So you increased from, I think it was at $97, right? And you went up. What was it like for you going back to clients when you increased your pricing?
It was just seamless. I just instantly had more confidence. A lot of people are a little hesitant when they raise their rates, especially such a big jump.
Yeah.
And this was before the internet was really that big. This was way before social media or online marketing. I was just meeting with people one-on-one and coaching with them at that time. And I learned that I could do things on the phone and with clients anywhere. I didn't have to just be local. And I stretched my goals because I did hire the person who was there. That was my very first mentor for like $12,000 for the year, which was really low comparatively. Now, at the time, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for that. I just stuck it on cards. And within 90 days, I was already making more money than I did before and enough to pay her and all the things.
It makes a difference. And I love that you hired the person too. And then you saw the results because so
Mhm.
many women founders are like, I don't want to pay for that, or I would never pay for that. And I have a live event, which is pretty much 10 to 5 p.m. There's dinner. And then the next day, a few hours, a recap and really touch into what you learn. It's $5,500, but you're getting a huge transformation in the shortest amount of time. So, do you want to pay $5,500 and work on it for 6 months, or do you want it done in a day in a few hours? But I get people all the time who are like, I could never pay for something like that. I would never pay that. I go, but then you'll never be able to charge it if you
Yeah.
can't pay for it, right?
That was a lesson I learned early on. If you want to have a $10,000 or $20,000 program, you should invest in a $10,000 or $20,000 program to learn. As soon as you invest in stuff like that, your confidence goes up and you have more momentum and clarity around being able to charge it.
Now, fast forward to your business now. What does it look like in terms of fee structure? Are you doing hourly? Is it like a package? How do you run everything now?
In 24 years in business, I've done it all.
What do you think is your favorite and what's the best money maker for you?
These days, my favorite is always one-on-one. And the reason is because that's where the magic happens and we can go deep with a client and they will actually do the work. Or even in a small group, when you can do one-on-one laser coaching inside the group, they can still get that result. So I want to do what works for the client. Every time I talk to somebody, they need me to tell them exactly what to do because there's too much noise out there. So I just love one-on-one. I think it's the most profitable thing you could offer. It's crazy how people come to me and they'll be like, well, so-and-so told me not to do one-on-one anymore. Or people are always saying, stop trading time for dollar. And I'm like, well, if your dollar's high enough,
Yeah,
it's pretty darn sufficient.
I love that's where you really get excited and you love helping them. Tell us about the program a little bit.
Most people work with me for anywhere from 1 or 2 years. I've had people work with me for 10 years because
That's,
always more to do.
yeah.
And I continue learning. I'm dived into an AI thing this year. So I'm learning a ton about using AI. So I'm bringing that in to clients. I also have the book publishing business now. So if they don't have a book yet, then that's a next step. If they don't have an event or retreat, that's usually a next step. There's always more to do. And then by the time they do all of that, they need a new website because it's been a couple years. And then they need a new CRM because theirs is outdated and this is the new fresh one. And then it's just never ending. I want to help people just focus on what it is they love to do. And so let's just handle all the back end stuff, operations, automation, even delegating, all that stuff. But it's not really people's forte to do those things. So that's where I come
Was gonna
in.
say that's why the one-on-one works better for you because that is a lot of moving parts. It's not one little thing you're teaching where it's like, I'll just teach you how to publish a book. You're actually taking the work off their plate and you're building the structures and you're bringing in the people. I can see why someone would stay with you for a really long time because it's not just you're doing one little thing. You can help do a lot of elements in their business. I think that's super cool. And I want to move into talking about the publishing because I know a lot of people have books. So I want to ask you, do you feel like going into 2026, if someone writes a book that pertains to their business, talks about their frameworks, all that, do you think it still helps them to get clients, or do you think that whole philosophy is kind of outdated?
Oh God, no. It's
Okay.
probably one of the most important things to do besides speaking. So speaking and writing a book, they go hand in hand. You've got to increase your authority, credibility, visibility, all of it. And it's just one piece of the pie. I never wanted to be an author until I saw a lot of my friends getting on TV shows and getting on more stages because they had a book. And I'm like, oh, use it as a marketing tool.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you think about a book as just being a marketing tool, yeah, it might take a little bit longer to create, but when you have it in print, I mean, you can see all of them behind me. It's just impressive. And the more you do, the better. I try to do a book at least every other year for myself. My first book took me 3 years because I didn't have someone nudging me or telling me what to put in it or anything
Yeah.
like that. And I felt like everything had to be in the one book, right? Like a lot of people think, I have to have this one book. It was the Love Yourself Successful book.
Yeah.
And so it was my story, it was a framework. I decided in January I was going to do it. I said, well, I'm going to do an event in November that same year, and that's going to force me to get that framework done for the book. And then, of course, that didn't happen because it wasn't good enough. Now we have AI. Now you should not write your whole book with AI, in my
No.
opinion. However, I just created a cool outline for a new book that I'm doing, which is Write the Book that Builds Your Business. And so I'm writing now a book about that. I've been dragging my heels a little. I was actually thinking about it this morning, going, okay, I need to sit down and just write. I have the outline, I have all the details of what should be in it, and I know what to write. Why aren't I just doing it? And sometimes we just need some structure around that, or maybe a writing buddy, or there's lots of writing groups out there you can join to overthink things.
Do you have someone who, after you write your book, you give it to them to read through it, to clean it up, to make the flow better, to fix any errors? Do you do any of that, or how does that structure look like?
You should always get an editor, first
Okay.
of all, for your book. You should never publish anything that an editor didn't look at. So the editor that we hired for that first book, luckily they did catch, apparently I told the story twice in the book somewhere, right? So it caught that.
I think that's awesome. Can you tell us what your publishing company is? I think that's awesome.
Star Publishing is the publishing, and it's more of we help you self-publish your book.
Okay.
So I don't put any books under my company name. Nothing goes under Jumpstart Publishing. It always goes under the author's name, and that is really important
Okay.
because my first book was under a publisher, and not a traditional, but a hybrid kind of
Yeah.
publisher. And they had control of everything. I couldn't update the manuscript. I couldn't update the cover. I couldn't update anything without a big expense. And I could only buy 100 books at a time or more. I couldn't buy any less. So it wasn't as ideal of a situation. I didn't know what I didn't know when I got into it.
Yeah.
Luckily, they were friends of mine. And so I was able to pull the book back away and republish it. So I just recommend having everything underneath your own name. Publishers, a lot of them don't do anything to market your book anyways. It just sits there under their account and then you don't have any control. I'm dealing with that right now with a client and we're trying to get the book back in that person's control. I'm more project managed. So project manage your project and it's a la carte based depending on where you're at. There was a guy that just came to me last week and hired me to do his launch, which is next week. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, they had almost everything done, but there was mistakes in his cover that I caught and mistakes in the manuscript that things weren't missing. And he didn't have the numbers and all the things. So I'm like,
Mhm.
oh my God, you can't publish. Like we have to fix these things. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't know what you don't know and you need some eyeballs on it. And he had a team of 3 people, but they weren't publishing people.
Yeah.
So whether someone comes to me last minute and just wants to do the final push and the bestseller campaign, or they need help from day one, you always want to look at the marketing and the strategy of what you're going to do with the book after it's
Mhm.
done before you even write a word of
Okay.
the book, because you need to frame the book, especially nonfiction, when we're using the book as a business tool.
Mhm.
We need to frame the book in a way that positions us as the expert, makes people want what we've got. And so we've got to use it as a marketing tool. And a lot of writers or people that are writing books don't think like that. They'll say, "Oh, I'll come to you when the book's done, Katrina, and then we'll do marketing." And I'm like, "Okay, but you're missing a whole lot of stuff."
Let's talk about the marketing then, because I'm curious. I interviewed someone early on in my podcast, and she had just launched her book, and she was touring around with her book and traveling everywhere with her book. And I was like, oh, I was like, that's a lot of work to do. I have four little kids, so I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be traveling everywhere to promote the book. What kind of marketing do you suggest that people do or plan for prior to launching their book?
Well, it depends exactly on your lifestyle, like
Okay.
you just mentioned, because you have four kids, you're not leaving and you're not going to run all over the place
Yeah.
to do book signings and TV interviews. So you can focus on your local area. You don't just sell it on Amazon, sell it on your own website because that's where you're going to get those contacts on your email list and your contact list. If they go to Amazon and buy it, you don't get any of that contact information. So after a bestseller campaign, we focus on the website and the person's marketing and driving traffic to your book sales page rather than Amazon. So only for the launch do we focus on Amazon sales because that's what gets you to bestseller, right?
Yeah.
So then we switch priorities usually to the website. And you can sometimes include other marketing, but the whole reason you want to fulfill the books yourself
Okay.
is because you can put in flyers of other programs. You can put in a card and your business card and a handwritten note that says, "Thanks so much." And it just adds that level of connection that then those people are more loyal to you.
Like
And
that though, because I
that
think
kind of
that's
touch.
changing, right? I feel like
Mhm.
everything out there is changing. We did like 7, 8 years of this, go so big, get a ton of volume, just bring a ton of people in and systemize everything. And I think people are tired of it. I think people are coming back saying, I really want to have connection. How can I have connection? So my next question for you is with everything and how we're changing coming into the new year, do you see any big changes happening for women entrepreneurs in 2026?
Number one, I think you just got to be real. And I think more raw. A lot of women are afraid to get too vulnerable, especially those who came from corporate. We have to tell our messy stories. Now, I'm not necessarily going to put a picture of me without makeup laying in bed. Some people do that.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's not me. I'm going to be vulnerable with behind the scenes stuff or sharing real personal stuff. I shared about our fire we had in our garage and health challenges and how stressed I am. And what I realized being through that situation was that I need color around me. The second change, I think, is you're going to have to get a lot more techie. You're going to have to learn shit. You're going to have
Yeah.
to learn about your CRM. You have to learn how the funnels work. You have to learn how to do some AI stuff
Yeah.
because that are going to speed up your world and give you more freedom. We don't have to do it all, but we have to learn and understand about how all the back end and all the operations and all the technology stuff works because it is going to save us a ton of time. Yeah.
Yeah. What you explained, I call it being a time billionaire. And so I tell people, is that your identity? Do you want to be a time billionaire? Because you can't wait until you have made a ton of money to learn how to do it because you can't. Once you've made a lot of money and you're in a certain position, you have learned to be crazy, to just add more, do more. If you're not busy, you're not successful. And so what happens is a lot of women will work really, really hard, make a lot of money, but then when they get there, they can't enjoy life and everything crumbles down and they're overly stressed, kind of like what you said, like you hit the depression. A lot of the women, there's so many things that hit them, they're not ready and prepared for it. So I tell them, if you want to be a time billionaire and you want to enjoy your life, it starts today. Like you have to start doing it today. You can't wait till later to do it. And it has to be an identity. You have to say, this is how I want to live my life. I'm a multimillionaire. I have a lot of businesses that I run. And I tell people, I go, I take moments to enjoy all the time. And I feel like as women entrepreneurs, we push so hard hoping to get to a goal that we really forget to enjoy the journey. What do you think about that?
100%, totally. Yeah. I mean, that started back when my second husband, he reminded me of this because he proposed to me in 2014 And then 3 weeks later, got diagnosed with throat cancer.
Oh,
And I said, "Oh no, you're not leaving me. I just found you." We went to the chemo ward for 8 months every day. And so I had to run my business in half a day, be careful where I traveled. So I used to travel 2 times a month usually. And I slowed down on the travel. A couple years after that, I slowed down even more. And then, of course, COVID took out the
yeah.
travel.
Oh, yes.
Slowly but surely, I've been doing less that took me away from the family. And even now, last year I set this boundary that I really don't want to talk to people before 10 or after 3, and I'm Pacific time, right?
Yeah.
And occasionally I'll do things at 9 a.m. It's
Yes.
really, I have to be booked as a speaker at 7 or 8 a.m. Okay. I
Even
don't
that
have,
I hate. I don't like that. I'm just like,
yeah.
I need my morning.
Yeah. And then after 3, I mean, I'm 55 now, so I'm just a little brain dead after 3. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
set those boundaries,
I like
and
that.
I like it too. If I could just stay focused and get off of social media during those times, then I wouldn't have to maybe work an extra hour or two every once in a
You
while.
know, I have put the social media away. I'm on it to promote, to post, and
Yeah.
then I'm off it. I hate it. I don't like scrolling. You have to find what works for you, strategy, all that good stuff. I want to ask the business that you have. You have a lot of different elements in it. Have you planned an exit strategy? Do you know what you want to do in the future with all the different businesses that you have?
Well, the plan is to just keep evolving them as I go and to do what I want to do and not what I don't. So that's all. I mean, I'm not planning on leaving the business
Okay.
or selling the business ever. You're interesting that you asked because I've got it on my radar and on my list of things to do. And I've already started what I'm calling, which is a horrible name, and I need to throw it into chat and see what I can come up with a
Yeah.
better name, but it's my prep for death list. Because as an entrepreneur,
Yes.
like my husband would have no idea. If I died tomorrow, I have to put together a checklist like, okay, now you need to do this. You need to turn these things off. You need to call this assistant. You need to cancel all these billing things,
Yeah.
but maybe hire this person to do that. And then I have
Yeah.
to put that list together. So that's not done.
When it comes to exit strategy, right? Like we don't think what happens if we die. Do you think you would ever bring anybody in so you could step back from the business, or do you think you're going to just run it until your day comes?
Even if I hired someone to help with the publishing, it would be like, okay, go do the marketing copy and images for this person and then come back or whatever. I'm
Yeah.
still going to be the front person. And I mean, that's what I'm thinking today. Who
Yeah.
knows? It might change, but I always say be open to the evolution of you and your business, right? It's
Yes.
just evolution. That's it.
Yeah. It's what do
Yeah.
you want to build? What do you see? What do you envision, right? What's the goal? And I love everything I do, but at a certain point, I'll bring in people to run it so that I don't have to run the business and I can be in the business and I can be with the people and I can enjoy more and I don't have to worry about all the different elements, but there's opportunity there for sure. As we're wrapping up the podcast, I would love you to share how people can find you, learn more about your programs, get in touch with you, all the good stuff.
I'm all over social. I have a couple different websites. So I have the business coaching site at jumpstartyourbiznow.com and the book publishing and launch company at jumpstartpublishing.net. I have events like you. I have virtual events. I have in-person events. Jumpstartevents.net. You can go there. There's free stuff at jumpstartgift.com. There's free trainings if you want to check them out. I'm everywhere.
If you are watching us on YouTube, all the links are below the video. If you're listening to us on the podcast, they will be in the show notes. If you're listening on the podcast, you can't see all her amazing books, but she has a ton of amazing books. She is really an expert in publishing and helping you with all the things you need to do. If you're looking to jumpstart something or you need help with something, check her out and see if she can help you out. Katrina, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Me too. Thanks.
Thank you.